yourself in that strange part of the internet once again, but it's okay because you're here with us. My name is Chris.
And I'm Jonathan.
Welcome to the Death Taco Podcast. This week we decided to tackle a newer movie, 2022's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't usually do new movies. I don't know why. I just do movies that I'm nostalgic about, but at the same time, this one's kind of near and dear to me.
It really wasn't as bad either. Like I told you, like in the recent podcast, that movies recently haven't been the best.
Mm-hmm.
And this one wasn't that bad. Like I could tolerate it. It kept me at the edge of my seat, especially with like the newer scary movies, how they haven't been as scary. This one was like, oh shit, got me here and there. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, it's because the director, or at least the producer or some shit, was this one dude, Fede Alvarez. This dude made like this Evil Dead remake that was pretty fucking fire. He made the Don't Breathe movie with the blind guy walking around the house. So he's got like this way of like shooting movies that make them look extra creepy. But apparently, like generally, bro, this movie is like hated.
I seen on the ratings on what's it called? On Netflix.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of look at everything. It wasn't rated that good. But to me, it wasn't that bad. It's just like some parts, it was like, it really got me, like, made me laugh. Like, wow, this nigga's really doing this.
Yeah, like right now, bro, they got a 32% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I seen that. I always do my research on the movies before we watch them. And I always do my research to see what it's about and watch the trailer, read up on it a little bit, so I get a little bit of background and see how other people like it. And this one, at the end, I was kind of surprised why people didn't like it, because it wasn't a bad movie. It's just some parts really got me, like that are, some parts of it was like unrealistic as fuck. It was funny.
Yeah, like I actually walked away from this going like not bad, but once again, that's because my metric for horror films is the goriness, the graphicness, and shit like that, and like how the kills are done, and like this had some really unique stuff in it. And I never go into a horror film like, yo, the story's got to encapsulate me. The characters have got to be well developed and shit. Like, yeah, of course that's important, but to me, like that's not where my metric is. And the story of this one is pretty much like just old man Leatherface.
Yeah.
Have you seen like any of the other ones?
No.
There's like
I've heard about them and I watched bits of them, but I haven't sat down and watched the whole Texas Chainsaw movie. Like, watch this one.
yeah, there's like probably 7 of these motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of them.
I watched a little bit, like, you know, and she was looking at the picture of her and her friends. I watched a little bit of that one, just not too much.
Yeah, this is a weird, like, because pretty much people compare this to, like, Friday the 13th and Halloween and stuff, like, has a slasher. But low-key, this character is different. So, like, at least in the original one, its original movie, it was about a family of cannibals. And this dude just happened to be a part of that family. He was just like one aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
And low key, I think he was like some type of mentally challenged. So like they would make him go and do this shit.
Yeah.
And he wasn't this like evil, I'm trying to hurt people. He worked in like a butcher shop. So that's why he wore like the apron. And he would like put people on meat hooks because that's what he did in the butcher shop, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he cut people up, not because he was crazy, because that's what the motherfucker did for work. And people think like this dude is the same as like Michael Myers or Jason, just trying to, you know, hunt people down for the fuck of it.
Yeah, for fun.
And low key, it's just a whole nother type of villain, but he gets lumped in with them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I think people are mostly upset with. Is that's what this movie did? Is they kind of turned him into like just another Jason type motherfucker, you know?
Like a bloodthirsty killer.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the audience that doesn't like this also didn't like the characters. They thought they were too, like, hipstery.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, just real, like, modern, obnoxious people.
Okay, yeah, like rich people. Like the modern rich people.
Yeah, just, like, snobby motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah. You can see, I can see where they're coming from, because the whole movie, they was throwing a party because they were coming to take over the town and buy it out and sell it to different store and make it like a new generation, like come and take pictures and populate it up with, you know, the younger people and influencers and stuff like that. So I can see why they don't like it.
Have you ever been to Texas before?
No.
I think I've only been a handful of times, but I've never seen the part where it's all like deserty and shit. And it looks like those old school cowboy movies.
Like a ghost town too.
Yeah. Like if it was a Clint Eastwood movie in like a previous decade or some shit.
Yeah, like all older and western.
Just like a bunch of storefront shops with like saloons and shit and fucking sand everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what threw me off, but
It's a ghost town in the middle of Texas.
mm-hmm.
They said the population was only like on the sign. It said like 1,000, a little bit over 1,000.
Looked like less than that.
Yeah, there's like 2 people in the town.
Yeah, so like this movie, bro. It you haven't seen the Halloween remakes, have you? Because you haven't seen a lot of movies.
The new Halloween one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen that one.
Where the girl from the first one's like hella old, hunting them down now.
Yeah.
Yeah, this felt like a complete rip off of that.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, and that's why I said like at the end of this movie, how it ended, I felt like they were gonna somehow make it a new one and have the same plot and same everything, just with the little girl now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they set it up to where they can make another sequel.
Yeah, pretty much. But the weird thing about it, bro, is like in Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis is the one who plays the main lady.
Mm-hmm.
And in this Texas Chainsaw one, the one who played the original girl back in like 74 or 84, whenever the fuck it came out, she died. So it wasn't even the same actress.
Yeah, it was a whole different person.
It was a whole different person playing the same character, which felt weird. And like, spoiler alert, she comes back and gets the shit kicked out of her, like immediately. Like it wasn't even competitive, bro. Like it was the Globetrotters versus the Washington Generals. Leatherface just straight took a dump right on this bitch's soul. Or like, did I watch a different movie?
No. I really did.
Like she showed up, put her chest in this nigga's face, and he just straight just kicked her in the nuts.
No, like when she walked into the room and was like, "Say my name," he just walked right past her. That's what fucked me up the most. It was like, he just walked right past you. You didn't even shoot him or nothing. You were too busy trying to hear him say your name, and he just walked right past you like you were nobody.
Yeah, because she was even like, "You don't remember me?" Like, if she was fucked up about it, because she had like revolved her whole life around this motherfucker.
Yeah, I wait 30 years for this.
And he was just like, "Okay."
It just walked right past, right to go back to the girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the ones that fucked me up. That's the part that fucked me up.
That was definitely something that I was like, "Yo, what was the point?"
Yeah, like I don't know about you, but if you was in that situation, the first second I would have just blew his head off, cause she would have still been alive.
I'd have went for the dome. If I missed the dome, I'd have hit his legs.
Something. I'd have hit something. I wouldn't even give him a chance to get up, cause he just walks to his chainsaw and then just keeps going about his day.
Yeah, that's what's crazy to me about all these like modern day slasher movies is like if you watch the old ones from like the 70s and the 80s, like you watch the original Friday the 13th, the original Halloweens, right? Michael Myers and Jason, they were like 5'11", normal built white dudes, like regular ass like everyday Joes. And then somewhere in the late 80s, they, or even the 90s, bro, they all of a sudden just hit fucking Planet Fitness all at the same time.
They all grew like 6 inches.
Now they're all like 7 feet tall and built like fucking NFL linemen and shit. And now you just stand no chance.
Back in the day, I would have kicked Jason's ass.
Pretty much, dog.
I would have just kicked his ass. Now he's stepping on me before I can even get to him.
Oh, bro, he's holding you down and just butt fucking you.
And even if I do get him down, he's coming right back up like the Undertaker. Like
there ain't nothing you could do. And this movie clearly like shows that if you try to hand Leatherface, bro, it's not gonna work out.
Like, bro, I don't understand how you still lived through that fucking uppercut. Like, bro, with the chainsaw.
A chainsaw.
That was
uppercut.
The meanest uppercut of the century. Like, I've never seen somebody get uppercut that hard.
Yeah, you gotta follow the Zombieland rules, bro. You gotta double
tap. That's why I said as soon as she hit him with the chainsaw, I said I don't know why she don't just cut off his head. I'm taking that motherfucker as a souvenir, so I know he's not coming back.
Mm-hmm. Bro, I'd have jumped in the air and like plunged the chainsaw into his stomach, bro, and just kept
it there. Yeah, just split him in two.
Nah.
That's just me. I couldn't. That's why I can't. I can't be in a scary movie. I'd ruin the whole plot. Just end it before it starts.
Just leave instantly. You just be in the car, bro, gassing it. Like, nope.
That Yeah, that's plan A. And if I can't get out of there, I'm killing him the first second I get. Like the first, I'm stopping the movie before it even starts.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking Call of Duty just camp his ass,
Man,
go into like a big room, just stare at the fucking door, bro, with a strap, and just be like, all right,
man, like whenever, like in the movie when he lowered her into the like over by the alley, I I wouldn't even stay. I would stay in the open. I would never go to a secluded area ever, or even chase him. I'd wait for him to come back out.
wasn't that the part where he like ran out of the alley and she
Yeah,
shot and he blocked it with the
with his
chainsaw?
chainsaw. Yeah, like he ran out of there when I'm. He ran out of there like a linebacker blitzing through the middle gap.
Bro, blocking bullets with his chainsaw,
No, I didn't think he was that fast.
bro.
That's a big man to be moving that fast.
And then there was another part, dog, where he jumps on the ground and he throws his fucking chainsaw sideways and it slides on the ground and cuts her leg.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying this movie was. Some of the parts in this movie was fucking me up because he was like a ninja.
Like there was nothing in this world you could do, bro.
Like he was wielding that chainsaw like nobody I've ever seen, even in a movie.
Bro, he was like Mark Twain painting a fucking portrait with that chainsaw.
Like if I don't what's his name, the dude who played Terminator.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
If he was like that's who Leatherface reminded me of in that movie. Like just a badass character. Like there was no way you could defend that at all. He ate like 20 shotgun bullets in a chainsaw uppercut. That whole movie, and he still like when he came out the water. You know when he was under the water, old girl got out. He just came up out the water like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he did that. He got superpowers.
How many people do you think he killed?
Probably just on that bus. I was a cool little 20.
At least 20, so like 30 motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But fucking, so we jumped way ahead, but that's kind of the whole purpose of the movie is Leatherface.
Yeah.
But like to get into like the actual start of it, so it was about some like young, early 20s, mid 20s kids.
Yeah.
It was set in modern day, right? And they were going to go buy a fucking entire ghost town in Texas. And right off the flips, the sheriff's department pulls them over, and they were like, "Yo, you don't belong around here," pretty much, right?
Yeah.
But then one of the girls was like, "No, no, no, my family used to be from here and shit," and welcomed them in.
Yeah.
And what was it? It was two sisters, and then a white chick and a black guy.
Yeah, the white chick and the black guy were dating.
Yes. And one of the first things that happened when they got there is they saw like a Confederate flag.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, the Confederate flag has got to go. So that got me thinking, like, what are your feelings towards the Confederate flag?
I actually been to a couple of friends' house and like they were throwing a party and they were like not racist at all.
They white dudes?
Yeah. But they had Confederate flags in their garage and I'm like, bro, like what is that about? Like they threw parties and there were, Mexicans, black dudes, white people at this party and there's a Confederate flag on the wall and nobody pays no mind to it. And I feel like honestly, as long as like I can see where people are coming from with having the Confederate flag and where it's wrong too. Like it could go both ways. So I'm kind of like it just really depends on the person. Like if they're really like I feel like some people are really racist and they support the Confederate flag for all the wrong reasons and there's some people that do for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it just depends on the person and the reasoning with supporting the Confederate flag.
Yeah.
Like me myself, I would never have a Confederate flag. That goes against my beliefs.
As a motherfucker from Kansas, I don't see why you would have one.
Yeah, at all.
I think that's more of like a southern type of deal. And nah, man, like it's hard for us to speak on it though, because like we ask a black dude, clearly they're gonna have different feelings about it, right? But I mean, even then, there's probably some black people that don't give a fuck about it.
There's some black people that probably have Confederate flags. I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that it's kind of bad to like jump to conclusions the second you see one and just assume like because the motherfucker has one, like it's clearly a redneck hates everybody. Cause that'd be like, you know what I'm saying? The second someone sees a dude like with maybe his pants are a little baggy or some shit, or he's got braids in his hair, like, oh, clearly he's a criminal. Like, no, it's the same fucking concept, right?
Yeah,
Like,
like
it's a whole nother culture and you just don't understand it.
yeah, I've had a similar situation. I worked with a dude with a Nazi tattoo, big ass Nazi tattoo on his stomach,
That's another thing.
and he walking around like with his shirt off, like it's okay, but he was just like, look, I'm not racist. I'm like,
Then why do you have a
why do
Nazi
you have a Nazi
tattoo?
tattoo? He's like, I honestly don't know why he has a Nazi tattoo. I think it's because he went to jail and he just had to stick up with the. He had to associate with the right people.
He had to be a real one.
Yeah, he's had.
You got to get it covered though. The second you get out of prison, bro.
Yeah, but like he wasn't racist towards Jews or nothing. He just said like for real, I just had to blend in.
He said this is for fashion.
Like he even makes jokes about it too. Like our boss pulled up and I was like, "Hey, you better put a shirt on." He was like, "Well, he's not a Jew, is he?"
Hell no, bro. That dude's a savage.
But yeah, like I just feel like you can't jump to conclusions. You like you said, if somebody has a Confederate flag, then it just really depends on how they are as a person, their beliefs. Like some people support it for the right reasons, like I said, and some people just are racist.
Yeah. I remember I dated a girl one time and her dad had a big Confederate flag tattooed on his arm. First time I went over to meet him, I remember he was outside with a BB gun just shooting fucking cans, I think. And I remember in my head, I was like, oh, this is how I go. The Lord didn't have bigger plans for me.
He walked up to the door and said, "Count your days, boy."
Mm-hmm.
Hell no.
Went into his house and he was watching fucking the news and Obama was president at the time. I remember he was just saying every fucked up word you could say about black folks. And I remember I was just like, okay.
Yeah, you can't really say much. It's an awkward situation.
Yeah. And he didn't say anything. He wasn't rude to me, but I could imagine when I left, the motherfucker was probably going off.
Yeah.
Goddamn banger.
Why don't you bring that Mexican in my house?
Lysol the couch.
Sanitize the whole house. Like that episode, usually Monsters Inc. when the people came in in the hazard suits, that's what he did to his house when you left.
With the fucking sock. I'm gonna do a podcast on Monsters Inc.
I'll do that one.
I got a whole thing for that one. That one's fucking goes deep. But nah, so they see the Confederate flag and they decide they got to take it down. So they run in the house, right? They think it's all an abandoned town, and it turns out it's some bitch's house.
Yeah.
And they throw her out. She gets she has like a heart attack almost from them fucking with her, right?
Well, she had a heart disease. That's what they said. She had heart disease, and I feel like they kind of put it to where her connection was the house, and that when she left the house, she just died. She didn't have nothing else to live for. Mm-hmm. She lived for the house and her son, or the last foster kid that was there. She said he had special needs and he needed to be taken care of. So I feel like that was her will for living, was to take care of him, make sure he's all right in that house. And so whenever she got separated from the house and everything she had left, she just went.
Mm-hmm. And so right off the bat, they kind of paint those kids to be assholes.
Yeah.
And that's important because remember when we did the VHS podcast at the beginning, they had those investigators, whatever, and I said they're showing them to be assholes.
Yeah.
And the reason being is fucked up things are going to happen to these kids, and they want you to understand there's a reason why fucked up things are happening. So this movie did do that part. But it got a little bit mixed because then he started killing everybody.
Yeah, and then like you could see the girl, the one of the sisters, the older one. You could tell she felt bad, and her whole perspective viewed when she got the text that girl died, and so she started feeling bad, and because right off flip sheet, you could tell she was bothered by it because she didn't feel it was right to throw this old lady out of her house, without proof that it's your house.
And that's why she got to live at the end of it. But at the same time, do you understand how like that gets confusing in a movie though, when it's like, all right, these people did something to this guy, so there was a reaction to it. So okay, I get why they're dying. But then when he kills everybody on the bus, that's when it's kind of like, oh damn, no, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
The signals get mixed. And I think that's a big part of why people didn't like this movie is it kind of it was like, well, why is he murdering fucking the entire universe now? I thought he was just fixated on these kids.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like you said, he had perfect reason, like not to kill anybody, but
It was understandable.
yeah, it was like you separated my mom from her house and she died, so now I'm gonna kill all you.
And another thing, bro. So like the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I think it was from 74. Yeah, 1974. So it's 2022. That is 26 plus 22 is I feel like I'm fucking that math up. 26 plus 22, 48. So that means he was like in his 20s in the first movie. So that means he would have been like bare minimum, bro, late 60s, early 70s.
It was the same guy.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's this dude right here.
So he's in his 70s running like that.
Yes.
That's crazy. Like
He's-
the way he was running in the movie, I could tell he was unfit because you could tell how he was running. But
That's
he's
how he
a
ran in
bigger
the
guy.
first one, bro.
Yeah, he's a bigger guy.
He was sprinting with a chainsaw, a big fucking 300-pound, 6'2"
Yeah.
motherfucker. In this movie, he was like 9 feet. It looked like, but
He was hella big in this movie. He had a belly on him too, so I know that was
bro, he was representing for the big boys.
man. You could tell under that apron he wore, you could tell he had a beer belly.
Bro, I could play Leatherface for Halloween. That's my next costume, I think, dog. Just so I could buy the fake chainsaw.
Bro.
I was born to play that. But fucking nah, dude. Yeah, the sheriff lady, she was a young girl. He was older than her in the fucking original one.
Mhm.
So you saw she looked like she was about 100. So
Yeah.
that was another like part of disbelief where it was like, nah, that doesn't add up.
Yeah. That's crazy. I didn't know that was the same dude.
Hmm. And then so then he rides in the ambulance with his mother, and she dies in the fucking ambulance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is probably one of the cooler parts of the movie, bro, is where he loses his shit and he grabs the cop's fucking arm and he snaps his fucking arm where the bone's out and he just
and sticks it in his neck. Yeah,
that was one of the dopest things I've seen in a minute.
My exact words was no fucking way. That's all I could say. My exact reaction was no fucking way. There's no way he did this.
Like, once that happens, dog, that literally, as soon as he did that, I was like, oh, yeah, nobody in the world could beat this guy.
Man. And then, coincidentally, right after he did that, the other gun shot and hit the other dude in the head.
Exactly. And that's why the car wrecked, right?
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck? He just killed two birds with one stone, literally. He killed this dude and made him shoot his partner.
And then that was the part where after the car crashed and the girl's pretending to be asleep, ain't it? And she sees him in the background dragging the old lady out of the van and cutting her face off.
Yeah.
So, like, before you saw this, did you, like, understand that's what, like, the main guy from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre's, like, thing is?
Yeah.
He wears people's faces?
Yeah. That's why they call him Leatherface. Yeah. I looked it up and, I said, I did my research before I watched it just to get a little background so I'm not going in there like, what the fuck's happening?
Mm-hmm.
I always do my little research, whatever. So I knew what he was doing, and I was like, "There's no fucking way he's about to do this."
Shit, bro. You know he's based off a real person?
Are you for real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So when the movie came out in 1974, right? This movie, the poster says based on a true story, based on real events. That's completely made up. It's not a real thing. There was never a family in Texas.
I was about to say.
There was never a dude who wore people's faces with a chainsaw, bro. I promise you.
I was about to say that's fucked up.
Nah, but what it was is it is based on a guy. This dude named Ed Gein. I don't know if you ever heard of that serial killer's name. He was this dude. I'm making up the time frame. He was this guy from a long time ago, and he had this like weird thing with his mom, I think, where she was like real abusive to him and shit. In 1957, so in the 50s. And they think that he might have been like trans, because he would like dress up in like women's clothing and shit.
Yeah.
But because it was the 50s, right, and nobody was accepting that shit, he was a grave robber. He'd dig up bodies in cemeteries of old women, big ass women. And he would take their remains and he would like cut their skin off and shit and make himself like women's suits.
What the fuck?
like a woman's bodysuit, and then he'd put on like his mom's clothes and shit.
What the fuck? I've
And
never heard of this.
yeah, and I think he killed like 2 or 3 ladies, I think, and he did that to him. He'd fucking kill them and take their bodies, and he had like a whole shrine of body parts all over his crib. He'd use like different parts of the body for like furniture, lampshades. He had like a whole fucking like a wallet with like just like somebody's nipple or something on it, like sewed into
What
it.
the fuck?
A fucking coffee cup with somebody's skull. And yeah, this is a real guy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, did all types of like crazy shit. Oh, here we go. Here's the searching his house. Authorities found human bones and fragments, a wastebasket made of human skin covering several chair seats, skulls on his bedposts, female skulls, some with the top sewn off, bowls made from skulls, corset made from a human torso, leggings made from human leg skin.
Fuck no.
Like, imagine, bro, you're in the 1950s and you're a cop and you've got this guy like arrested. He's at the police station and you're just going to go check on his house to look for like a dead body. And you open the door. Boom.
I wouldn't know what to say, bro. I
That
couldn't
fucked
even
you up,
imagine
bro.
drinking from a skull, from somebody's skull. Like this was a whole person. You just decapitated them and using their skull as a cup. That's nuts.
Yeah. So that's who Leatherface was inspired by.
Whoever made this movie,
You need help.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's what the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre was. It was about the family. And the family had like weird shit like that, like bones and weird ass furniture and shit all over the place.
It's weird.
Which is why I think people are upset that you would never have gathered that from this movie we just watched. None of that is brought up. He just cut somebody's face off for no reason and wears it.
Yeah.
The one part was, remember in the cornfield or wherever they were, that flower field, he had set his mom up in some like weird ass
That's
pose.
what I was just about to say.
That was like the one reference to the old movie because there was shit like that in the movie.
He set her up on that haystack, like with her face off, just sitting there, like how I'm sitting right now, just like this, with her face off.
Shit was crazy.
If I seen that scarred me for life.
Mm-hmm. But no, so they crash the van, cuts off the mom's face. And here was something I didn't like personally. I didn't like his mask.
I didn't either.
It didn't look like any of the other movies.
I didn't like it in general. Just like I feel like it could have been more scary.
Yeah, because a lot of people said he looked like the Toxic Avenger. I don't even know if you know who that is.
It sounds funny.
It's this like it's like a melted face. Like if someone dropped fucking like if he got like toxic sludge melted on his face. That's more or less what it looked like.
Yeah.
Because he was bald and shit.
It didn't look scary at all.
Mm-mm.
It's just his character was scary. That's it.
The actor, and he was so big and shit in it.
And there's nothing you could do to stop him. That's the only thing that scared me. Like his appearance and he got a big ass chainsaw. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
But his face wouldn't get me. It's like, who's this clown? Like when he got on the bus, and then everybody was like, oh, like laughing at him and shit until they were like, oh shit.
Until they knew it was real.
Yeah.
Bro, how about when he goes back to his crib and he pulls his chainsaw out of the wall like fucking John Wick?
Whenever he was doing, I was like, "What the fuck?" I knew he was getting something, but I didn't think he was getting a chainsaw. He had a chainsaw like just for this event.
Bro, and just in case of an emergency, he had like a little hammer, and it was like break this for emergencies.
Yeah, like I was like, I knew he was getting something, but I didn't know what he was getting. And when I seen the chainsaw, I was like, "There's no fucking way."
You're like, "Oh, that's why it's called the Texas Chainsaw Massacre."
I thought he was getting I thought he was gonna get like a gun or something, like John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he just pulled out a big ass chainsaw. What the fuck? You got this special chainsaw made just for this event.
Mm-hmm. We might have the most like literal title of all time. Like it's in Texas. He has a chainsaw and there's a massacre. And that's pretty much like every movie.
Yeah, I feel like that's one thing I did say. Like this movie is just like exactly like the Friday the 13th movie. It's the same exact plot, just different people.
Pretty much, right? It's a guy on Friday the 13th, and he's gonna kill people.
Yeah,
Halloween, it's a dude on
Halloween,
Halloween.
and he's gonna kill. He's gonna kill people. There's gonna be a lot of blood.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why like I don't get the criticism all that much because like, what do you expect at this point?
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen. You know the whole plot of the movie. You just don't know how it's gonna happen.
And so like, and then when he gets back to the town, he starts just like murking everybody. Kills the black dude. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
'cause right after that wreck, he went right back to the town. Right after the wreck, that's the first place he went. So I already knew he was gonna go right back to the house because that's exactly what his mom said was, "Stay out of my room."
I think he went in her room, didn't he?
Yeah,
Started playing with makeup and shit.
yeah. He put her face on and started putting makeup on the over the face. I'm like, bro, what?
Shit's disturbing, bro.
That's what's crazy is there's probably people that really would do stuff like this.
Mm-hmm. A lot of weird stories out there like that, man.
Yeah.
Nah, but before that, even dude, so there was like some Texan guy. I almost want to say like some redneck dude, but we don't know he was a redneck. You know who I'm talking about, right? The mechanic.
The one, yeah.
It's right at the beginning. That's another reason why people didn't like the characters. Was one of the girls was like, that guy has a gun on his hip.
Yeah.
Somebody say small dick alert.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot of motherfuckers are like, oh, they hate guns. Fuck these kids.
Yeah.
But like low key, bro, if you don't grow up around straps and stuff, like I could see why you think something like that.
Yeah, they're all, you could tell by the way they are that they were grown up privileged.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're not used to that. They will like say like, we go somewhere, we should do with a gun on his hip, we know he's just protecting himself. But like he even said, you gotta, what he said something about oh, he said something about why he had like something about protecting himself or something like that. Or he said something at the gas station.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly what he said, but like they'd never understand that.
Yeah, he said there's feral hogs out here, so you gotta protect yourself.
Yeah, that's what he said. Something like that. I knew he said something like that.
So pretty much, that was just him saying like you're being ignorant right now.
Yeah.
Which is ironic because they were thinking he was ignorant, and that's just a whole thing that people, for some reason, really judge these characters on.
Yeah.
Like I seen all kinds of memes, bro, about how like motherfuckers hated the chick with like the curly ass hair.
Yeah.
How she's like one of the worst characters in like horror movies, and like she went hard at the end with the chainsaw, bro.
Yeah. I think at the beginning, her character just took a while to get progressively more cool.
Yeah, I think that was like growth, which is what made what happened at the very end all the more strange.
Yeah.
Like, because remember, she's making fun of the dude for his gun at the end. She picks up the AR, I think. Or no, she has the shotgun.
She didn't. She didn't. She didn't get the gun at all. It was It was her sister that had the shotgun.
No, her sister has the AR. Remember, like she's gonna fucking. Oh wait, no. The sister has the AR, and the safety's not on her. Some shit.
No, she didn't have no bullets in there.
Yeah.
Click, click, click.
And she gets bailed out by the old lady. Remember?
Yeah.
But fucking, we'll get there. So this is the part where Leatherface fights the mechanic, dude. And like that was what confused me is right. They set this dude up because he was a good moral character.
Yeah.
Because he was neutral. He was in between. He was like, these kids are kind of annoying. They shouldn't be getting fucked up though. But he also felt bad for the old lady.
Yeah, because he ended up taking their keys.
Yeah. So it makes you think like, all right, him and the girl who's like, him and the main girl have like kind of a rapport, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, those two are probably going to make it to the end. But then my boy gets his shit also fucked up.
But I thought he was going to be the one to save them all. I thought he was going to be the big badass character to take down Leatherface. That's how I thought at the beginning. Like, whenever he was in the town, I was like, oh, then they introduced him at the gas station, made that little coincidence, whatever. And now I get here, I think he's going to be the one to save them all. He goes in there and gets fucked up.
He gives him a run for his money, but like seeing that scene is one of the moments where it's like, oh yeah, Leatherface would fuck me up too.
Yeah, like I had no chance. This dude, like that was not a small dude either. He had guns too, but I just don't understand why he didn't like slide the gun over the old girl or something. Like I try to help her out some way, set her up because I'm already dead.
Shit, bro. Whenever because he fought Leatherface with a sledgehammer, right? Or Leatherface
No,
had a sledgehammer.
sledgehammer. Yeah, that's the only reason he like won so quickly is because he hit him in the leg with that
When his
sledgehammer.
leg snapped back, dog.
Snap backwards. I was like,
That was
ooh.
nasty, dog.
That's one of them like scenes in the movie like that's like, ooh, that shit would really hurt if that happened to me.
Remember though, he kept fighting him with his leg fucked up.
Like he
like
drove
ran
him backwards. Yeah, he drove him backwards into the window, and that's what.
Bro, that happens to my legs. I'm just on the ground, and that's it.
Like I'm good. Like you killed me, put me on, make it stop hurting, kill me.
Then he just smashed that nigga's face in, didn't he?
Into the window, into the glass, just right to the side of the knees like this. I just felt the blood as soon as his neck hit that window. He said, "I just fell to the ground."
Mm-hmm. Nah.
But if I was that girl and I seen Leatherface just do that to that dude, I'd already know I was dead.
I'd have lived under that dude's bed forever. I wouldn't have gone nowhere.
Yeah, I would have. Hey, I would have. She was bold for making that getaway. Cause as soon as she got down to the end of the stairs, cause after they got done fighting, she grabbed the keys, made her run, like got down to the end of the stairs. She looked back up and he's just up there.
Bro, yeah, cause that's the part where he was putting on like makeup and shit, right?
Yeah, and then no, he was in his room and she was in his mom's room, and then that's
when
the
she
part
was crawling around on the stairs, right?
she went downstairs and then he looked back up and he was at the top of the stairs.
That's
when he threw the fucking
parts, bro.
He threw the fucking sledgehammer down the stairs, bro, and fucking like Thor. You know,
hit her in her chest, right?
Yeah,
boom.
right through the floorboard too.
That was one of the scariest parts of the movie because she was trying to be real quiet and she like climbed over the rail and like landed real softly at the bottom of the steps, looks up and he's just staring at her. And I remember I was like, yo.
I was like, fuck. And then next thing he's just fucking Thor and just throws that sledgehammer right at her chest.
I forgot about that, dog.
I was like, yo, there's no fucking way. Because that was the first thing that he did in the movie that was like, what the fuck?
Bro, that's really who he was. He was like Thor with his hammer, with that chainsaw, and with hammers.
Yeah, like when I seen that part, I was like, what the? I was like, there's no stopping him. He's unstoppable. Right there is when I would have just been like, kill me. I wouldn't have got up from that floor.
Bro, he was like one of those fucking trick shot guys that you see like videos of.
Yeah.
Like he nails every single one of them, bro.
he
got
does not
style
miss.
points, dog.
He got aimbot and everything.
Like he walks out of his house every day with a little wad of paper and just fucking like flicks his wrist, bro.
Bro, that was nuts. That part threw me off.
Bro, the whole movie was like that. He was just constantly doing these like
Matrix shit, like just some unseen ever before.
Like he had the cheat codes and nobody else did.
Yeah, he was in God mode that whole movie.
Yeah, so because that's when he's chasing around under the floorboards and shit.
Yeah, with the chainsaw and cutting through the ground. That's like, I ain't never had anxiety so much for a character in a movie. Like I was scared for her, and that's why some of the parts in this movie. That's what made me like this movie so much. Is like it made me like on the edge of my seat.
It really was like it was like I said, it was well done. I think at least the scary parts.
Yeah, there were some unrealistic parts, but in all like overall, I don't see why this like movie got so much hate.
I think a lot of people legit just saw like the characters and like I think that this like our whole culture's gotten so like politicized that the second you see motherfuckers talking about like any kind of like woke shit, they just check out. Like, cause the scene we're about to talk about where Leatherface gets on the bus.
Yeah.
And the first thing that happens is motherfuckers pull out their phones and one of the dudes goes, "Do something and you're canceled, bro."
Yeah.
And like for some reason that just pissed so many people off.
That got me too, cause I was like, bro, he don't give a fuck. He don't care. You think he's even on social media?
Like, don't get me wrong, that was a lame ass line, dog. But like, I moved past it, man. Like that was the part that set up like this. What I want to talk about is like how all the modern slashers now are like the girl from Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like where they just take on like 30 motherfuckers at the same time.
That whole scene on the bus fucked me up though. I'm not even gonna lie. That whole scene just got me because you like it just was like unrealistic. Because if I'm on a bus and I see somebody come through and he's standing right there, you see how they're all just patting on the window.
Oh, trying to run from him?
Yeah, trying to like you're not gonna get out through the window.
Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's gonna more than likely kill you, but then still like fucking at some point you gotta realize, like, I'm gonna grab this nigga's left arm.
Yeah.
Hopefully somebody else grabs his right arm. Somebody grabs his leg and just starts
If all
sticking him.
20 of y'all just bum rushed him, he's only killing about 5 of y'all.
He might kill the first 2 or 3, and then once the rest of you fall on him, somebody just snatches the chainsaw from him. But even then, like, he caught a dude and broke his fucking arm. So, like, if he grabs you, bro, that's it.
Yeah, but he can't grab everybody at once. I just like try to everybody just team up. Yeah, some of us are gonna die, but that's the risk we're gonna have to take. We're gonna die either way.
Yeah.
So either some of y'all sacrifice your life and just be a hero, or we're all gonna die.
I think that's the problem. Is nobody wants to be a hero.
Everybody just wants to live.
Mm-hmm.
In that situation, I'd bum rush. I literally just have to run towards them.
Yeah, because, I mean, what are you going to do? Just stand on the wall and wait to get fucking chainsawed?
Knock on the window, hope somebody comes open that mug from the outside. Like, I don't understand what they was doing at all. Like, old girl, you can see old girl got smart and tried to run out the window. Even then, he just cut her body in half.
Shit, that happens in real life, though, bro. Because one time I was on this, like, weird website, like, death videos and shit. Yeah. And I seen a video of a guy who went into, like, a mosque and just shot up a fucking mosque, right? You know what a mosque is? No. It's like a church, but for, like, Muslim people, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And this way this fucking mosque was set up was it was T-shaped, and there was no exits. So you walk in a hallway, and then it T-shapes, one big-ass room, no exits. So this nigga's walking up the hallway just dumping on people, boom, 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 with his rifle with the GoPro on. And then he walks into the opening of the hallway where it's like this, just one big room. Everybody went into a corner. 30 people on one side, 20 people on the other side, bro, like flies, just smashed up in a corner, just laying on top of each other, bro, just waiting to get dumped on.
See, I don't know why people would just stand there. Like,
and like that really
wait for you to be killed.
And like how you're saying, it's easy for us to go like, yeah, we'd rush at him, but if everybody's scared, bro, and you're the only guy running at him,
yeah, you don't stand a chance.
You're just gonna be the first one to get shot.
Yeah.
In that specific situation. But in this movie, like how you said, dog, it's such a narrow thing. Like, yeah, no other choice.
Yeah, there's no way. Like, first of all, that has to be a fire hazard. One exit, that has to be a fire hazard. Mm-hmm. At that point, I'm trying to go through a wall.
I am busting out a window, bro.
Yeah, like I just didn't understand that part of the movie. I'm like, why are y'all just letting him just do this? Like, even if I was in that building, I'm not going down without a fight. So if he kills me while I'm rushing at him, I'm just ending it quickly. I'm not waiting for my death. I'm not sitting here waiting 5 seconds for my turn to get shot. I jump to the front of the line because I'm not about to sit here and watch all y'all get laid out and then me. I'm going to at least go try to save my life. If not, because I know none of y'all going to save my life, so I'm going to try to do it myself. And if I fail, then I'm already dead. I ain't got to watch nobody else die.
That's what's scary about the chainsaw, bro. It's like, what are you going to do? Grab his chainsaw? Yeah. You can't do it. It's like a lightsaber, bro.
You can't grab the end because you grab the end, your arm's gone.
You try to grab the handle where it is. He's probably just gonna fucking tilt it.
Yeah, right at there's nothing you can do, but at the same time, you're not just gonna sit there and just.
Say you jump at his legs, bro. He points it down like it's a big ass fucking chainsaw.
It's like this big. You're not dodging this in a narrow ass bus.
Oh, that'd be so fucked.
I couldn't be in this situation. See, I never even, why are y'all waiting in the bus? As soon as the bus stopped, I'm getting out and running. Like, that's my first thought. When that dude's head came in the door, I was like, yeah, it's about to go down. That's when I would have just took off.
This is also why we bring straps everywhere.
Man, like...
Anytime I go out of town, bro, I got it.
Yeah, like, they was making fun of that dude with the gun on his hip, and I bet they wish they had one right there.
Bro, my girl always asks me, too, because, like, whenever we went out of town, I throw my gun in the trunk. And she's always like, why are you bringing that? And I'm like, you never know.
You never know. You could be out of town and just be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and shit's about to go down.
That's right. You rather have it and not need it
than need it and not have it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was saying that right. That's why I paused. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm glad you finished that because I got lost for a second.
But after that, that's... After the bus scene, that's whenever
the old lady came
back in.
And she just, bro.
I thought she was about to, by the way she locked him in the car, I thought she was about to get right to business.
I thought she was going to do work, bro.
But nah, she went to go talk to old boy, and that's whenever he walked right past her.
Mm-hmm. And then She shot him like one time, right? She had to have hit him at least once.
Whenever he was at the window, because as soon as he walked past her, he went straight to the car, and broke out the window and grabbed the little sister, the younger one, and that's when she shot him the first time.
Yeah, and then he put his chainsaw directly into her stomach and picked her up in the air like 10 feet.
Yeah, that was nuts.
That was nasty.
Like, and she still lived. Like, the people in this movie didn't die, and that's what, like, that's one of the unrealistic parts. Like, even when the first dude died, the black dude, he got cut in the neck, and he gets up and walks outside, and then dies outside.
Oh, he got his whole face cut open.
Yeah,
bro,
like
from jaw to ear.
Yeah, like, and then like and he got up and walked out the house.
I mean, you can do that, bro. Like, there's been people who've like shot themselves in the dome and like walked away.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all about just luck, I guess. Bad luck.
Yeah, and then the chainsaw to the stomach though.
That to the stomach though, no doubt. Bro, that shit's like mixed. She was tiny, you're tiny. Like me as a bigger dude, maybe that could happen, and I could, before I bleed out, I could be conscious. But like, if you're a small person, bro,
yeah, she was
that
like
chainsaw's hitting
5'5".
everything, bro.
She was like 5'5", maybe 140 pounds max. Old lady getting lifted in the air like 10 feet by a chainsaw.
Yeah, there's no chance organs weren't missed.
Yeah, she should have been dead, but no, she didn't die until after she shot him a couple more times.
Yeah, but then after that, I keep wanting to just call them the twins, bro, because they look relatively the same.
Yeah.
I mean, one had like the curls and one didn't.
Yeah,
That's about the only difference.
Yeah, literally.
And they fought Leatherface. They won. And this is kind of the part where we like saw him doing some like trick shot shit.
No, like that was crazy.
Where he like launched his fucking chainsaw.
Like he did it like
the fucking bullet.
You know those fucking fireworks that you light and they start going everywhere on the ground, like the jumping ones, and they start lighting up and they blast off in the air. When he threw his chainsaw on the ground, that's what it reminded me of. Like when it starts spinning and shit. I was like, there's no way he's about to hit this, because as soon as he like start throwing, like he like was about to throw it, I was like, there's no way he's about to throw this chainsaw.
Bro, have you ever used a chainsaw?
No, like not a big one, but a little one, yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming they're all the same. You have to hold a trigger to make it fucking saw.
Yeah.
So once he throws it, wouldn't it just be a saw? Couldn't
it just idly running?
I mean, maybe it would have like hit her leg, but I don't think it would cut her leg, right?
Yeah, it would have cut her by just like stabbing her, but I don't think it would have cut it off or nothing.
That's what I thought of when he threw it. I was like, okay, yeah, he threw it, but it shouldn't still be sawing.
But I think it's a movie. Of course, it's gonna still be sawing.
Of course, it's Leatherface's chainsaw, bro. That's what my girl said.
It's
She was like, maybe he ghetto rigged it, you know?
Yeah, put a zip tie on the trigger and made it constantly.
It's always fucking sawing. Something, bro. But nah.
Bro, he was smart though, because like in that scene, you could see how I think that battle was set up perfectly. Like when they were fighting him, I don't think it could have been any different. Like, it wouldn't have been any better, because he outsmarted her by putting the chainsaw with that cardboard cutout, and like he was standing there with the chainsaw, and then when she seen it, she was like, "Oh fuck!" And that's when he tackled her into the water.
Every time, bro, because of the way they started the movie, where he snapped the dude's arm with his hand, I felt like anytime he touched anybody, that should have been it. So, like you said, he tackled her into the water and she got away. The dude with the fucking bear grip.
Yeah, like, first of all, I thought whenever he took her under the water, I thought he was just going to drown her. Like, okay, he could, like, there's nothing he can't do, so I wouldn't be surprised if he could breathe underwater. He's going to hold her under there until she stops breathing and then come up.
Motherfucker is just Aquaman, bro.
Man, because he was, like, unrealistically strong, because like I said, how he just came up out that water, he like that Jennifer's Body movie where he like she levitated up at the water. That's what it looked like when he came out. I was like, bro,
you thought he was just gonna come out with blonde hair like Goku, bro?
Yeah, like he really did. Like he just jumped up out of there. Like, how do you jump up out of some water like that?
Shit, man. I mean, yeah, it was kind of like expected that like he wouldn't really die. Because even on the part when the sister like uppercutted him with a chainsaw, I even thought, I was like, that was hard. Like it looked hard cinematically, but at the same time, I was like, I don't think that did it.
Yeah, I wasn't convinced it killed him either. But I was like, at the after the battle and shit, when they went back to the car, I was like, maybe he is dead.
Bro, how crazy was it at the end of the movie when they got in the car and it was a fucking smart car and they or was it a
It's
Tesla?
a Tesla.
And they hit self drive mode. And I was like, oh, that's fancy. That's cool. And I would have never thought, like, that's the reason why they did it was because, he snatched that bitch out of the car.
And she couldn't stop at all.
And the car couldn't be stopped. She's, like, in the sunroof, right? Just like, no.
No.
And the motherfucker just saws that bitch's head off, bro.
And at the end, he does that ninja shit with his fucking chainsaw again.
Well, that's a callback to the original movie. That's how the original movie ends, with him, like, just swinging the chainsaw in the middle of a road.
And was her head on the end of that one too?
No, at the end, because in the original movie, the old lady, she escapes their family, and he's like chasing her down a road until she hops in somebody's truck, and like he just like chainsaws the side of the truck when they're driving, and they get away, and she's just like laughing and screaming as the truck's driving away with the camera on her, and he's just swinging his chainsaw in the middle of the road, pissed off that she got away. So that's why in the remake the camera's on her screaming as the car's driving away as he cut her sister's head off. Though this time he's swinging the chainsaw again.
Oh, that's tight.
That's fire though.
Yeah, I didn't watch the original one, so I would have never known that. That's actually tight.
That's a cool ass callback.
Yeah.
But nah, dude, I didn't see that coming at all.
No, I didn't either. Cause whenever they got in the car, I was like, yeah, this is the end of the movie. It's gonna, they killed him. And next thing I know, old girl gets snatched out of the car, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" And my little cousin was watching it with me too, and he walked out right before the two sisters fight Leatherface, and he's like, "Oh, I can't watch these people die. I'll be back." And he comes back at the end of the movie. I'm like, "Bro, you just missed the most savage ending ever." We rewatched it, rewind it for him to watch it. He was like, "What? I can't believe I walked out on this." Like it was a crazy ending.
It looked good as fuck, bro.
That's why I said I don't see why it got so much hate. It was a good overall movie, like especially lately. Like I said, I feel like directing and the production of movies haven't been as great lately, and this one just kind of was better.
Yeah, like I said, I think it's just all political. I think a lot of motherfuckers just get like mad like the second you see any type of like modern day slang and shit.
Especially for a Netflix movie though too. Like this was a Netflix movie. Am I wrong? Like this was only on Netflix or a Netflix original type. Like I think it was a good movie, especially for Netflix, because I feel like the only movies that's been decent lately are the ones in the movie theater. And this one was a Netflix movie, and it was actually good.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was a TV show the first time I saw it. Because that's all Netflix puts out. So I was like, TV Netflix? Show. I was like, oh, it's a TV show? I'll wait. And somebody was like, nah, it's a fucking movie. And that's when I hit you up. I was like, oh, bro, let's do this.
That's why I said, I was like, oh, I actually wanted to watch it because I've seen it on my, on the suggestions. It's been suggested for me. And I just never clicked on it. And I've been wanting to watch it. But like I said, I haven't had much time to be watching movies. And so whenever you sent it to me, I was like, all right, bet. Yeah, I've been waiting to watch this. So it makes me sit down and have time to watch it.
So what would you rate it?
Overall, out of what?
1 to 6.
I think overall, I say about 4.5. Or no, I say a 5. Say a 5.
Ooh, my boy dealing out his first 5. Hell yeah.
I say a 5 because, like I said, I liked it. I like the graphics and the like how when he came down to kill people, he was really savage about it, and I just like how his character was low key OP as fuck. Like
yeah.
Like he's over here throwing chainsaws and shit. Like I liked it. It kept me intrigued.
Okay, well, what are some things that you didn't like about the movie?
I didn't like. Let me see. There was little I didn't like, but the stuff that I didn't like was big. Hold on. Let me think on that. Let me come back to it.
Right on. So for me, right, like pretty much we're both saying we really fuck with the visuals heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I think visuals alone, bro, and because of the graphicness of the kills and stuff, for me personally, like I said, for my rating system, I would go 4.
Mm-hmm.
But like, if we're gonna really, if I wanted to really, really break this shit down, like I said, as being part of a bigger story, being the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, compared to the old one, and in terms of like continuity, the story made no sense. Like in the whole fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre series, they've changed this dude's name like 3 times. He was Tommy, fucking Jedediah, fucking Eugene, I think. All types of weird shit. They can't get this dude's like character right. And this then it shows in this because they don't mention his family. Did you watch the post credit scene?
Mm-mm.
There's a post credit scene where he's walking up to the house from the original movie. That's pretty much all it was. And so there might be a sequel revolving around his house now. But yeah, it's just it didn't mention his family. That fucked me up. That kind of took me out of it a little bit. The story, bringing back the final girl from the original one, that didn't make any sense. Didn't add anything. And the character development wasn't really all there. Because, like, there was a whole other plot with the sister, the youngest one, where she was, like, in a school shooting, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Did they bring that up more, or was it just one scene?
It was every now and then, like when she was shooting the gun, she kind of got PTSD. When she was laying there on the ground, she kind of uh, like when they were fighting him and her sister jumped on the back, it kind of like cut and kind of like flashed back to when she was laying on the ground at the school. So it kind of mentioned it like through, I want to say like 3 times. I like showed it like her PTSD from the school, and she mentioned when they were in the car, she mentioned that she said I should have died back at the school and now death followed me here. So like they mentioned it a few times and had flashbacks a couple times.
So was that like the point of it? Was that like she felt like she couldn't do anything during the school shooting, so that's why she had to do something there? I'm guessing.
Uh, when she was fighting Leatherface,
Yeah.
I've no, I yeah, I think that might have been what they were trying to portray, or that she felt bad that she could, or that she felt like it was death following her, so she had to do something about it because she felt like she was supposed to die that day at the school and she didn't.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it, because she said that in the movie too. So I think that's what they were trying to put. Like she felt it was her fault that this was happening.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's part another reason why people like didn't care for this movie, bro. Is because the messages got mixed up. Like at the start of the movie, you know, they're making fun of dude for having a gun, but at the end of it, it was like, oh wait, no, we need guns though,
Yeah.
or do we? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's no clear like message that makes sense,
Yeah.
and the guns didn't work, so they didn't use guns at the end.
Yeah. Like I said, the things that I didn't like about the movie was big. Like just like predictable parts, like what were gonna happen. Like at the beginning, I knew who was gonna be Leatherface. When they're on the bus, I knew coincidentally the bus was gonna break down. Like just little stuff like that, and like when I said they were on the bus and stuff, and nobody tried to even fight him. Like there was nothing they could do there. I was sitting there like little helpless people that were just gonna die anyways.
Yeah,
Like I just think like some of the kills shouldn't have been as easy for him, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. It was almost too predictable.
That's the only reason that I didn't give it a 6. Cause like I said, I liked it. I liked the graphics and everything. I just didn't like how easy the kills were.
Yeah, and I think for horror movies, bro, I think people dive too deep into like characters and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like at the end of the day, it's basically all a simulation. They just put Leatherface in there, and these are all just obstacles he's knocking over. Like that's more or
Yeah.
less all it is.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie did it well. So like I said, my rating, I think I said 4,
Mm-hmm.
and you're 5.
Yeah.
So yeah, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I liked it a little more than the other movies.
Mm. But now, cannibalism in modern fucking day America.
This is crazy.
So this is the one that stuck out to me when I was looking at this list. Omima Nelson An Egyptian born former model moved to the United States in the late 80s in an effort to discover means to live a posh SoCal lifestyle. After relocating, she met Willie Nelson, not the singer, a man 33 years older than her, who had previously been convicted of smuggling marijuana. The couple married after just 2 months of dating. So, though Miss Nelson claimed that she was sexually abused by her husband and suffered from battered spouse syndrome, it wasn't until 1991 that she sought her revenge: the murder, dismemberment, cooking, and cannibalization of Willie Nelson. These grisly acts, the 23-year-old Omaima claimed, were performed in accordance to various Egyptian beliefs regarding meeting her husband in the afterlife. As if the murder and dismemberment of Willie Nelson at the hands of his wife were not gruesome enough, details of exactly how his various body parts were cooked and disposed of are far more disturbing. During her trial, a psychiatrist testified that Miss Nelson admitted to cooking her husband's ribs barbecue style before sampling them. Authorities also testified that Mr. Nelson's hands were fried in oil, as well as his head being boiled and stored in a freezer. Additional remains were put down the couple's garbage disposal, which neighbors said ran nonstop for hours following the murder. Omaima later denied cannibalizing her husband's remains. She was convicted of second-degree murder and the assault of a former boyfriend with a gun. She is currently serving a 25-year to life sentence.
That's
So,
nuts.
Egyptian chicks, bro. You gotta be careful.
I'm not getting with one. If that's the first red flag. Now I'm asking every girl, what's your ethnicity? You Egyptian? You Egyptian? That's my first question.
You gonna tell the dude with the fucking Nazi tattoo?
Yeah, I'm sending him her way. I'm like, hey, I need you to handle some business for me.
Nah, man. I've never. You ever thought about that? Like, what person would taste like?
No, I like. I don't know why. I'm one of those like people that if I know how my food's made, I won't eat it. Like chicken nuggets, like I know how they're made, but I try to forget it because they're so good. Or hot dogs, I try to forget it because they're so good.
Oh, so you try to detach it from like the animal it was made from.
Like I don't like how they're made, like processing the food and everything, or like if I feel like a weird texture in my food, I won't eat it. Like I'm one of those people, so I couldn't even imagine eating a human.
When like the food is like cooked really well, I can forget about it. But every now and then, I'll make my own food, and if I feel like it's a little bit undercooked, I instantly just start picturing the animal.
Yeah, I can't do that. Like I don't know how people eat their steak bloody. Like if your steak has blood coming from it when you cutting it, that animal still has a pulse. So you're gonna eat it? Like I can't do that. I couldn't even imagine eating a human.
Shit, bro. Like there's some cultures like where they eat their dead. You know that, right?
That's nuts. Like
that's part of their like ritual or whatever.
Like in her situation, she was living with her husband. You know, living like made him food, slept with him. You know, everyday life, and you eat him. He would. I don't know how somebody could do that.
Yeah, I think it takes a special type of crazy.
Yeah, like insanely crazy. Like I've heard people do some crazy things, but eating people is crossing the line.
Tell me again, because we didn't record where you're talking about some dude eating another guy.
Oh yeah, the true crime stuff I was watching. This dude had his own website. He had like a website where people could go in and fill out and sign this paper signing over their life to the chef. And what happened is they'd message this dude, end up signing this over, whatever, and then meet up with him. He'd kill them and cook them and eat them, and or like sell the meat. Like you could buy people meat from this website.
Ooh. And that was like local.
Like I don't know if it was like here. Like I know it was in the United States somewhere, but I don't know exactly where. I can't remember. But I was just watching because like when I go to sleep, I'll put on like some true crime stuff and watch it. Like, because I'd be wondering like, it's interesting and it's like, damn, people are really this crazy. Like Jeffrey Dahmer and stuff like that, crazy people.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just interesting to watch like how they get caught and stuff. So I was watching this episode, and he was just selling them, selling meat.
Selling meat.
Yeah, human meat.
Mm. All right, bro. This guy. That looks like a cannibal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll screen share for a second. Cannibal. Back to our screen. So this is what this fucking dude did. This is from 2003.
That's when I was born.
This could have been you, bro. So this is about told from the perspective after the trial and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So German prosecutors described how this guy had fantasies about killing and devouring someone, including his classmates from the age of 8. The desire grew stronger after the death of his mother in 1999. Prosecutor, somebody said. So in March 2001, this guy advertised on the internet for a young, well-built man who wanted to be eaten. On the evening of March 9th, 2 men went up to the bedroom in this guy's house, a timbered farmhouse. So the dude who wanted to be eaten swallowed 20 sleeping pills and a half bottle of schnapps before Muse cut off his wiener with agreement and fried it for both of them to eat together.
What the fuck? Yo.
So then the guy who wanted to eat started bleeding heavily, so he took a bath. He got in the bathtub, and the cannibal dude started reading a Star Trek novel. So in the early hours of the morning, he finished off his victim by stabbing him in the neck with a large kitchen knife, kissing him first. I've seen other stories of this. I think they banged before this all happened.
What the? Yo.
The cannibal then chopped the victim into pieces and put several bits of him in his freezer next to a takeaway pizza and buried the skull in his garden. Over the next few weeks, he defrosted and cooked parts of this victim in olive oil and garlic, eventually consuming 20 kilograms of human flesh before police finally turned up at his door. With every bite, my memory of him grew stronger, he said. Behind bars, this guy told detectives that he had consumed his victim with a bottle of South African red wine, had got out his best cutlery, and decorated his dinner table with candles. He tasted like pork, he said. There you go.
That's strange. That's odd. Like he said, the memory grew stronger. Like, like as he was eating them, he like remembered it more. Like that's crazy.
Bro, the image of him cutting that dude's wiener off and they ate it together is the one that fucked me up.
Oh, that's sus. Hey, if I was a cannibal, that'd be the one part of the body I wouldn't eat.
That's where you draw the line, bro?
Hey, that's where I draw the line. That's the one place I couldn't eat. My manhood be going away as soon as I take a bite.
Bro, there's people who eat like fucking like cow balls and shit.
I know them people are strange. I could never. That's one body part I do not play about. I would not ever eat.
Bro, if you were an Indian 300 years ago, you're starving to death. And everybody's eating the cow, bro, and the only part they've left is the wiener.
It looks like I'm starving.
Hell no.
I'll see y'all in the afterlife.
It's not in the shape of it. What if they just like cut it up into pieces and they're like,
it's still.
Come on, bro. Don't lie, Craig.
Bro,
They throw that shit on the tortilla. They don't tell you what part it is until after you've eaten it.
Well, I'm taking my own life after that, bro. Y'all can eat me next.
Y'all can eat my dick.
Yeah, that's not me. Just because you change the presentation or something doesn't change what you eat, and you still sus at the end of the day. I couldn't do that.
Bro, speaking of that, dude, my cousin Josh was on them niggas podcast the other day, and they had one of the funniest fucking exchanges. They were talking about how they don't eat bugs or something, eating bugs and shit. And they were telling him, like, you know, when you go to sleep, you sleep with your mouth open, so you eat, like, 5 or 10 bugs, like, a year or some shit, right? You ever heard that?
Mm-mm. What the fuck?
When you're asleep, bugs crawl in your mouth, because if you're snoring, bro, you can't. So, like, they would assume that a handful of bugs will sneak in there.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousin Josh was like, I'm not gay. I sleep with my mouth closed. He He was
That's
like,
some Josh shit to say. Like, that's some shit Josh would really
bro,
say.
I was rolling. I didn't watch the video, dog, but I was like, I almost want to clip that for them because like that's a funny fucking clip.
That's some Josh shit to say. Like, for real. Like, if you knew Josh, that's some shit he would say.
That's all I was thinking of though, dog. I was like, damn, I gotta have that dude back.
You strip my manhood. I sleep my mouth open, or I'm gonna sleep my mouth shut. And if it
He's
opens
like, I
up,
ain't gay. I sleep with the clothes.
I'm duct taping it shut every night.
Nah, man.
That's crazy. I never even thought bugs were calling him out.
Nah, so there's something I want to do with the podcast now, right? We're at the end of this. Like when I run out of shit to talk about, we ask Reddit. We go to questions where people ask questions, and we see which ones we want to answer. All right, here's one. Fellas, what's something you secretly love but hide because of gender stereotypes? Basically, just out yourself right now, dude. Cox.
No, but mine is it's not really secretive, but like my earrings, how I have one dangly and one stud. People think that's gay, but like I don't see it as that. It's my style. That's something I do. Like not many people do it. Like some people do it now. Like more people do it now, but like that's pretty much like the only thing that I do that I'd even take it as. Because I get judged on it a lot. Like, I get comments like, why you have one dangly earring and one stud? Like, you know, that's the only thing that I'd be kind of ashamed of or something.
Or embarrassed of.
Embarrassed of, yeah.
Nah, like, I see it, right? And me personally, my ears aren't pierced. I would never wear earrings, right? Because of, like, how you said, there's that stereotype that, like, oh, man, you're soft if you get your ears pierced.
Yeah.
However, though, I think that is changing now with the times and shit. And, like, when I see you with the dog, like, I don't see it. And I'm like, oh, and this nigga looks, you know, feminine with it. Like, I'm like, nah, you wear it confidently.
Yeah.
So it kind of, like you said, it's your swag, bro.
Yeah, like, I thought about getting a nose piercing, but that's crossing the line for me because then people were like, oh, yeah, you really feminine for getting the...
Nah, you got to get the eyebrow pierced, bro.
With the other tongue.
Mm-hmm.
That's trying to just get the tongue pierced.
Oh, bro, you nasty. You get the tongue pierced, bro. I'm judging.
Nah, I could never. Like, I wouldn't even get my nose pierced.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the earrings is as far as I can go. Like, I don't know how people have, like, 30 piercings. Like, how you find 30 places on your body to pierce? People get bored and just start piercing, like, their cheek and shit. You seen that? Where people just put piercings, like, on their cheek or, like, like on their eyebrow and shit. Like, people run out of places to put piercings, so they just really put them anywhere.
No, I've never had, like, any type of yearning to get piercings. I got tattoos and shit. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get some eventually, right?
I got one right here, and
yeah, that giant ass one right in my face.
yeah, I'm gonna get more as the time goes on. I just think it's
You folded like I did though, bro. You got it on the inner arm, so like motherfuckers can't see it unless you happen to go.
like
you ever think about that?
Yeah, like when I took Instagram pictures after I got my tattoo, because you know when you get a tattoo, you gotta show it off.
Of it, yeah.
It was so hard to put the positioning to where I can get my tattoo.
Did you take any like this, like holding the phone at yourself?
I was thinking about doing the old little pose, but I couldn't do it because
I would do the same shit, bro.
Like
you gotta like turn your hand out like this to like
I was about to
it.
post a picture on Instagram just like this. Just so you can see the tattoo, but I ended up just turning to the side a little bit to where you can see the.
You happen to be pointing one direction, bro.
That's what I kid you not. When I got my tattoo, I FaceTime my friends and I was like, "Hey, bro, look over there, and it pointed the camera at my arm, just straight, just pointing at nothing. But I just wanted to show my tattoo, so I was like, "Hey, you seen over there?" And just showing it off in the camera, but. That's why I wish I wouldn't have put it on the inside because you can't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I had it right here or something, just walk around with it and you can see it. But I wish I would have positioned it somewhere else.
Yeah, but no, man, my these are pretty much guilty pleasures. Like my guilty pleasure, low key, bro, is 80s music. Fucking like even like the females, like Cyndi Lauper and all that shit. Like Time After Time, fucking.
When nobody's in the car, that Cardi B do come on. I'm dead ass, but and the homies in the car, that Cardi B's not coming on. That's staying on the playlist for when they leave.
Yeah, man. That's about as like deep as mine get. I don't got a whole lot of them. If the zombie apocalypse started today, what skills do you have that would make yourself useful to a band of survivors?
Nah, I wouldn't be useful to a band of survivors at all because I wouldn't trust nobody. Because, like you said, this is zombie apocalypse. They're gonna be running out of food. They're gonna want to eat people to save food, and they're not gonna know me as well as some of the other people. So I might be the first one to go.
You're like, and I'm not eating nobody's dick.
Yeah, they might try to save me the bad parts for last. So I'll make it on my own. I don't think I'd even in the zombie apocalypse. I have a certain scenario game plan how stuff's gonna go. First of all, I'm hitting the nearest anywhere I can get the gun stores that ain't even hit yet. I'm going there first, and then I have a warehouse that I already have in mind that has water stocked up in it, so I'm good.
That's very specific.
Yeah.
You forgot the very first part of that plan though, where you get shot by the gun owners that you're trying to rob their like pawn shops.
Yeah, it's starting to work out some of the game plans still. The general idea is there though.
Me personally, I like to think I'm really pragmatic. I think I'd be a good a good leader in terms of like, hey, let's not kill those guys.
Yeah,
Let's join up with those guys.
like a decision making kind of. Yeah, like the brains of it all.
Like I never understood why in zombie movies why people like I get you got to fort up, but nobody ever talks about forting out. Like say if we were to be on this specific thing, like why not expand beyond the crib, the neighborhood? Let's start clearing out zombies. Let's not let the gang fucking stack up to where there's like 50 of them outside the crib. Let's kill that 10, maybe 20 outside.
Yeah, that's what like. You ever play those zombie survival games on your phone?
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of the ads like pop up on like Snapchat or like different stuff that I'm on. I watched the zombie survival game ads pop up on my phone. And the way that they make those games is how I would want to run my zombie. Like if the zombie apocalypse happened, I would go rebuild this place or whatever and progressively make it bigger. That's what you do is progressively make it bigger and wipe out the zombies when they come and not wait for them to hoard up.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like nip it in the, because it's like in games, like yes, the zombies are never ending, but in real life, bro, there's a finite amount of people.
Yeah, there's a number, and they're gonna stop eventually.
However, here's where it gets weird: is like in real life zombie situations, how do you know it's like? Say, were you here for this when I talked to somebody?
Yeah.
When you're at the gas station, you see a guy with zombie-like symptoms.
I told you. You don't want to be friend bit somebody.
You don't want to be the first dude who's like, I know what to do. Headshot.
Yeah.
Oh, he was having a seizure. Oops.
You can't take the bullet back at that point.
Yeah, you going to prison, homie.
Like I said, you gotta do some observation before you kill the person. Yeah. Hey, you a zombie? Then I'll give him a call out or something. Zombies ain't gonna speak back.
Like nobody's gonna ever definitively say like, "Oh, this was a zombie."
I'd have to be like, "Hey, bro, you good? You a zombie or you human?" If I get a response back, then he's human. But if not, then it's headshot.
And this is a public warning. Like, if you're out biting people and shit, and like you look crazy, you're gonna get it to the head, bro.
Man,
like, listen, you're setting yourself up.
Like, why are you biting people in the first place?
Like,
Cannibal?
just to be sure, bro, you're not getting it in the chest. You're getting it in the dome.
In the head. Like, I'm not even giving you a chance to even come at me because I'm going to be the next one bit.
With The Walking Dead in its 13th season, I know what to do right now.
Yeah, I watched every episode. You think I'm going to end up like one of them?
This is a good one. What's the best thing you've ever purchased for yourself? This is kind of deep. Does that even exist?
You can go first.
All right, so check this out. The best thing I've ever purchased for myself. This might be corny, but it's my first microphone. Like $100. Fucking Best Buy. I was like 15 or 16, I think. One of my first jobs. I had a MacBook from my parents had got me a MacBook Pro, one of the white ones, the big old chunky ones. And I had just been like recording music and shit straight from the speaker in the laptop. And I remember buying the microphone, bro. It was just this like super. I was like, oh, I made it. You know, this is going to change everything. And low key it did, because now look, I've fucking got like 4 microphones. I got the decent interfaces and shit.
Yeah.
And it all led to this moment. And like, you know, it was just something cool.
Yeah. I don't know if I made any, because when I get money, I tend to just splurge it in the moment and never think of any long term, like, hey, I need this or this. So I think I don't really have one that I really
To be fair, you're still pretty young.
Yeah, thoughtful purchase because I kind of just blow my money as it comes.
You're like, I got this vape, right?
It gets me through every day. But yeah, I don't think I made any like purchases that were like
That have like stuck with you. Yeah.
yeah.
You'll probably think of them, man. The older you get, you'll start to appreciate like different things differently.
Yeah, like I think when I buy my first like good car, that'd be my number one. It's like damn, that's my first big purchase.
Nah, dude, I was pissed off when I got my first car because my parents were really big on me being independent. And so I remember I think I had a tax return or something that was like $1,500, and I didn't have any type of credit. I didn't have bad credit at the time, but I was like, I think I might have been your age, 19 or 18 or something. And I was like, all right. I was using this old ass fucking Explorer that cost like $500, and it was all janky. So I was like, I need a new car. So I went to the dealership. Actually, I told my dad, I was like, hey, can you come with me? I don't know what to do. And he was like, nah, just go up there. Just tell him you want to get a car. Which, to be honest with you, I think he was fucking with me. Because have you ever gone to a dealership before and gone like, you know, I looked up in the registry and shit, and I was like, yo, this one's cool. This is a, you know, $9,000 car. It's a Ford Focus or some shit. So I walk up to the guy selling the cars, and I'm like, hey, I want this one. And he was like, do you have like $5,000 to put down? No. Do you have good credit? 700. No. Then he put his arm around my shoulder, started walking me out the door. Tell you what, come back with your parents, come back with $5,000, and practically pushed me out the door. And then shut it and was like, then come back and talk to me. So that was like my experience at a Ford dealership. I think I ended up going to like a Shawnee Mission a Kia dealership, and they got me one. They got me my little Cobalt that's sitting outside broken down right now. But that was my like feelings when I was getting a car. I was kind of like, well, damn, I guess I got to just settle for this motherfucker.
That's why I'm real iffy on the next car I want to buy. I want to make sure that it's gonna run. Cause I bought my actual first car, but it was a shit box. It broke down. It's gone already.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my next one I'm really cautious about. I want something that's gonna last.
Yeah, like I know a lot of people say like you shouldn't get into like decent payments, but like if you got a steady job,
yeah, and you can make the payments, it's good.
It's good to get a reliable car, bro. Like as long as the car like lasts the life of the fucking payments.
Yeah.
Cause like I've always gotten into cars that had like 5-year payments, 4-year payments, and they always last longer, a couple years at least than the thing.
Yeah, as long as it gets me A to B and it's decent, and it's a decent price, then taking it.
Yeah, I think especially nowadays you got to really think about gas. Like my car, bro, I only put like $30 into it, even with like, and you've seen how big my car is.
Yeah, no, gas is nuts right now too. Especially, I might as well just invest in a Tesla at this point, because gas is like expensive. It's almost $4 a gallon.
Teslas are also expensive.
Yeah, think about the gas you're gonna spend over years.
Would you be in a self-driving car?
No.
You
I wouldn't let it self-drive itself. I'm going to take that damn autopilot off. I'll trust issues. Why would I trust an electronic car?
Listen, bro, if you're going to, like, sit in a self-driving car, I feel like you got to just buckle down and, you know, be all in.
You ever seen those gadgets that, like, when you pull it against the window and you hit it, it's going to break the window, like it shatters the glass? Like those panic ones, like, if you ever get kidnapped, you should have this on your keychain so that way it's like a little ball, and you put it against the window, and you pull it, and it slings against the window, and it breaks it. So that way, if you get like kidnapped or anything, or you could break out like without hurting yourself, or you can get out the window or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have one of those on me. So if that Tesla goes rogue, I'm breaking out that window and jumping out. Like,
bro, I feel like that's such a trick shot type thing. Like you try it one time, like little did they know. Nothing happens.
Yeah, like I'd be pissed if that happened. Or like if it's a bulletproof window and it's not breaking, it's not breaking. You pull that bitch like 5 times, it's like, why isn't it working?
Fucking flicks off and knocks you out.
At that point, it's just, if that ever happened, it's my time.
You just wake up in a cannibal's bathtub.
God chose me to come this day.
Here's a weird one. You have to have sex with the last person you searched up on Google. How screwed are you? I just looked up this cannibal guy.
you're you're fucked.
So I'm done. How
I
about
don't
you?
even know who I looked up.
It's probably like Einstein or something.
Hulk.
Oh man. What makes someone immediately unattractive to you? Ladies.
Ooh, that's a good one.
What are we gonna do? We're gonna say a physical thing or a characteristic?
Characteristic. Just like how they are, like their person. Like me is just, I'm a big personality type. Like of course the looks got to be there too, but personality got to be there. If I hate stuck up females. Like if you think that you're, like there's some females that'll be on Snapchat like, oh, why would I chase one dude when I got 50 other dudes chasing? Like that is immediately unattractive. Like what fuck do I look like competing with all these other dudes? Like if you're texting this many other dudes that want you, they can have you. Like I'm good.
She for the streets.
Yeah, like especially if her snap score over 1 million, it's not for me. She has over 1 million Snapchats on this account. I'm not messing with this.
So you're looking for that underground poontang.
Yeah, like that low key slept on.
I respect that. Yeah, I think it'd be a similar thing. Like females that are like afraid to like laugh.
Like shy ones.
Yeah, not even shy ones, bro. Like ones who like will just immediately like look past you. Cause like I just say goofy shit all the time. And this is kind of fucked up. So depending on my mood, cause most of the time I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever, I'm getting out of here. Cause at these like fast food joints and shit, I'm like 10 years older than all these bitches, so it's like invisible. But fucking every now and then, like today for example, I went to this chicken place. And they accidentally, I asked for a regular order of mac and cheese, and they gave me a large one. And the girl at the window was like, hey, we accidentally made you a large tub of mac and cheese. Is that going to be a problem, or do you want us to make you another one? I remember I looked up at the sky, looked over at the female, and I was just like, okay. Yes, please.
Like, well, you're giving me more than what I asked for. You think I'm going to complain?
So she handed me the bag of food, right? And I didn't pull it immediately. She's still holding on it. And I was like, hey. She was like, what? She like stops. She was wearing a mask. I just see her eyes look at me. And I was like, tell whoever fucked up I said thank you. And then I pulled it in. And then, like I said, she kind of like looked away real fast. And I remember I was thinking in my head, I was like, that was gold, okay?
I would have laughed. I'm so sick. I would have just died laughing.
But like I said, like females who can't like even, play around like that.
Yeah, like I would have laughed. I don't care who came through the window. I would have laughed. I'd have been like, yo, this nigga's comedy.
Bro, I had to like hold it in when she was like, do you want him to go remake it? I almost slapped the bitch. I think I even told her, I was like, what the fuck do you think?
Like, bro, like you think I'm gonna you give me more, like that's a better feeling than when you order fries and you find some onion rings in there too. Like
they throw something extra in the bag.
Yeah.
Like I feel universally nobody's gonna be like, nah, don't give me extra food. What random act of kindness backfired on you horribly? I got one for that. This one time this guy walked up to my car when I was in the Missouri side. And I was at a stoplight, and he asked me if I had any change or anything, and I was like, nah, bro, I don't have any change. And I was smoking a cigarette in my car. And he was like, oh, let me get a cigarette, though. And universally, dog, I always give people cigarettes, because I'm always, in my head, when I was smoking still, I was like, okay, I wish somebody would do the same for me if I was in this situation. Here you go, my good man. He's like across my car on the passenger side at the window. And he's like, you got a light? I'm like, yeah. Hand him the lighter. And mind you, at this point, he's like put his elbows on my window, and he's like leaning like with his face almost like inside the car. And I remember at that moment, I was like, all right, it's kind of fucking weird. So I got my hand out to get my lighter back, and he's like, so you telling me you ain't got any bread to give? And I'm like, nah, I still got my hand out. So this motherfucker, bro, like with his hands like this, tosses the lighter on the fucking floor of the car and then walks off. Mind you, he could have walked off with it, which would have been worse. But I remember there was like about 15 seconds where I'm sitting there. I'm like, I got to get out of the car and whip this dude's ass. I'm like, I got to chase after this guy right now and fuck him up. And I was working. I was in uniform, bro, my Coke shirt, because I was driving to different stores and shit. And I'm like, thinking in my head, like, okay, is it worth it for me to get out of my car right now and fight this dude? I like real hard. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I got my lighter. That's not going to affect me. I'm never going to see this dude again. But still.
No, I was working at laundromat out in Olathe, and this old lady, well, she's like an older lady. I say in like her 50s. She was like, "Is there any way you're going up north?" And I was like, "Yeah, I live up north. Like I'm going north." And so she was like, "Is there any way you could give me a ride to go get this car?" And that's an older lady, so I'm not thinking nothing. I'm like, "Yeah, of course." Like, you know, she was nice to me. There was this customer that came in there and tried to fight me, and she was there when the cops got there and everything, helped me out, you know, get me out of trouble because thought I was gonna get in trouble, whatever. So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna help her." So I was gonna take her to get this car, and I thought it was gonna be like down, like over by my house because she said like where it was. I'm thinking, okay, it's right here. Like that's not too far from my house. It really wasn't that far, but it was out of the way, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm over here taking this old lady to get this car,
Yeah.
and it's way the fuck out the way. And I'm like, bro, it's like way out the way is like 15, 20 minutes from my house. 15, 20 minutes I didn't have to go, but I'm thinking that it was closer. So I ended up taking her, and she ain't give me no gas money or nothing. So when I get home, my car's on E, and I don't got no gas for the next day. So I had to ask, you know, my mama for some money. But I didn't know it was that far out the way. It wasn't a big deal, but at the end of the day, I kind of lost hella gas for
And
taking
like,
it.
you can't even, like, it'd be fucked up if at one point you were like, yo,
You got some gas money?
either you got gas money or you're going to have to bounce. Like, I feel like I've gotten you far enough, Frodo.
She did give me this fake ass chain. I ended up giving it to Esau.
Swear.
Esau would not take that motherfucker off. He wore that mug for like a month until it broke.
Look, bro, on the real, a chain is a chain, man.
Man, he thought he was so fly. You remember that chain he used to wear, that gold one?
That you gave that to him, and it was from that old lady.
Old lady. She was like, I don't have much, but I have this chain. She said, I don't know if it's real or not.
Bro, low key, she was probably just leading you in circles, hoping you'd be like, "So, what's up?"
No, she had to go take this other car back to her house before I took her to go get this other car, which was strange, but I did it anyways. And her house was, to get to her house, I had to go through this alleyway. I thought I was going to get killed, bro. I was like, yeah, this is it. I called my friend. I said, hey, if you don't see me tomorrow, just know I died.
It was a setup, man.
That's what I felt like the whole time. Like I said, it wasn't that big of a deal, but it still was out the way.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I think, like, whenever somebody says something's close, I feel like 15 to 20 minutes is, like,
Iffy.
When it gets over 30 now, that's when it's like, nah, you're fucking tripping, yo.
Yeah. I wouldn't even drive 30 minutes to see a girl. Why would I take you 30 minutes to go pick up a car?
Bro, I wouldn't drive 30 minutes to go cancel my gym membership. That's why I paid him for 3 years.
I still ain't paid mine. I keep getting phone calls that says Planet Fitness is one updated payment. I'm like,
And
fuck that payment.
what's the best insult you've ever heard? I've heard some fire ones, bro.
I heard some racist ones. I don't want to get canceled though.
Yeah, keep those in the chamber, dog. All right, we only let those loose in certain situations. Nah, dude. One time these guys were like going back and forth, right? And one of them like had tried to roast the other guy. And the dude who had gotten roasted, he was like, I can't remember word for word. I'm gonna fuck this up because I can't remember. This was like fucking 15 years ago. The dude was like, ha ha ha. He was like, I just laughed so hard that my balls jiggled like your mom made him do last night.
That kid's a savage.
I never forgot that line,
Yo.
bro. Hey. And I remember I was just like, that was nasty, bro.
I wouldn't even know what to say. Like, at that point, he won, bro. I wouldn't even have a comeback at all, bro. I'd be like, you win.
I just walked out of the house. What was your best Halloween costume?
I was never one to dress up. I was never one to dress up. Like,
So you're gonna be one of those guys like me.
I was always the one that put on the mask and just called it good
Okay.
with a pillowcase.
Even as like a child.
Yeah, like I never had an actual costume. Like every now and then I, have the like the cliche ninja or something like that as a kid. But other than that, I was just like when I got older, like teenage, I was throwing a mask.
Bro, do you think every kid was like a ninja at one point in their life?
I feel like a ninja is just a common thing to do because everybody like as a kid you see like all these action like ninja movies, something like, oh, that looks cool. Let me be that for Halloween.
Bro, I was a Power Ranger like 3 years in a row. They would just change the colors.
You got the red one, then the yellow
red
one,
the white one, the black one.
I dressed up as you ever seen those Ninjago movies, like the Lego Ninja movies? I dressed up as one of those. I dressed up as one of those one year.
Just call it a Lego Ninja, bro. Don't call it Ninjago.
That's what the that's what the show's called. That's why I said it.
Ninjago just sounds like a racist ninja. Part of the Ninjago clan. Oh, fuck. Here's a fun one. What's a phase you had when you were younger that looking back on, it's now incredibly cringe?
The mohawk. I had a mohawk. And just to tip it off, I had, those hairspray, like the colored hairspray, like to change your color for a day. I colored one side red and the other side blue. So I look like, you seen Cobra Kai?
You were Hawk?
I look like Hawk.
My boy.
I look like Hawk. One side was red, and if you looked at me from this side, it looked like I had red hair. If you looked at this side, it looked like I had blue hair.
And then you would spike it up?
Yes, like literally like this. It'd be like this, straight back, red, blue.
That was for the ladies, bro.
Man, I thought I was killing it.
Bro, I went through this goth phase, dog, where all I wore was black. And I had really short hair. But at the time, all the kids I hung out with had like that skater white kid hair where their bangs would hang. So, they'd all just always be going. So I would do that, but I didn't have any hair. And I didn't understand that they were flipping their hair. So we'd be talking, I don't know, and I'd be like, yeah, something like third period. And I just had a twitch.
Like you had Tourette's? People probably thought you had Tourette's.
They just call me that Mexican goth kid with Tourette's.
They're like, yeah, that one kid with the tick. Like,
I thought that shit was hard as fuck. I got a couple of pictures, bro, of me just like decked out in black.
See, I wear a lot of black even now. Like black's my favorite color. I wear black. I don't really think of it as like a goth now, but like black's my like. If I had to choose any color, I'm wearing black or red, but mostly black.
Yeah, I think that's mostly like me, like an affiliation thing, cause like in this neighborhood, whenever I walk around with like. When I went through my cholo phase, bro, and I had the flannels and I had like a cap that said loco and shit on it, I'd always get these like essays that would walk up to me like, "What you claim for? Where you from?" I'm like, "Oh, I just live here, bro. My bad." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, all right, clearly I can only wear black.
Yeah, I can't wear red because I might get shot here, or I can't wear blue because I might get mugged here. So just neutral, go black.
But nah. But I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I think we've been about 2 hours in. I think. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and plug everything. Make sure you guys are hitting the TikTok, Instagram, Death Taco Pod, YouTube channel, Death Taco Podcast. We're going to be doing these. Hopefully, I want to start doing some in the middle of the week and shit.
Yeah. Just, I don't know if I could do it. It'd have to be late during the week unless it's in a couple weeks because I quit my job in a couple weeks.
Nah, you're good, man. Fucking, I got like a whole army of people trying to do these.
Yeah.
I like that we could still keep doing these like on Sundays though, like consistently.
Yeah, I feel like the consistent content brings in a lot of more people.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least get your videos around more.
Yeah, so that's what I'm gonna try to do 2 a week. I got other people that I could have come in the middle of the week and do one. But thank you, John, for being here, my boy.
Yep.
This has been the Death Taco Podcast.